Alright, hey guys, we're back, hole 2, tournament revision here. Now I'm going to go with a Quasar ball just for a little bit more precision. Notice last time I went quarterback sniper. As I mentioned, on hole 1 and in the other guide, you really don't need a lot of power here. We're going to lay back intentionally just to kind of leave it so we don't get in between clubs in these rookie levels. So we're going to do very little. The one thing that you got to make sure that if you're going to use sniper, that it has at least 15 backspin on it. At least 15 backspin. So that's going to be, if you don't have that, then you're going to have to go ahead and use Viper, and the only thing that's going to change is your ring calculation. So if I go 2 rings, for example, you're going to go 1 for a Viper. So that'll be your alternative club of choice in the event that, if you're talking about Viper that has 55 accuracy versus 100 accuracy, it's twice as accurate. So you need to go, half as many rings on a Viper. So with that being said, I'm bringing a Quasar more for, just positioning here. We could just as easily go down to a Marlin, but I want to make sure, power-wise that, the ball's set up on the fairway, not in any, trouble spot, and we're just going to, focus on getting it in play here. Like I mentioned, not a lot of power. Really just want to put it in play and get it to where it's not in between clubs. So that's why you're just seeing me very basically put it out there in the fairway, because I don't want to, really have to blast it down there and potentially put it in between clubs. And I don't want to have to, use clubs that aren't very accurate and don't have a lot of ball guide. So you're going to see me use that sniper because I have a 4.0 guide on it, which is going to help me set up my approach. So you won't be able to set up your approach as well on another club like a Viper. So that's why we favor, that's one of the biggest reasons that we favor that over, say, a Viper, is for that extra level of precision that it has on it. And that, ball guide. So here you can see I almost didn't quite get it down here enough. It's very, very close. We are going to try to go, slightly into power, kind of like this. But, all I'm really going to focus on is I'm basically going to treat this like I've already played the rings, kind of. So you can see that this spot right here, which is where I'm going to kind of try to land it, is 2.5 rings into... I'm just going to pretend that I've already gone 2.5 rings, and I'm just going to go another 1, because I only want to do about 3.5 on this shot. The reason that we underplay it is because it's uphill. So let's see how this looks. See if I can't get this running out. It looks pretty good, but just veers off. So just keep in mind, what I was just looking at. I'm going to need to, especially for the back, just try to get it, a couple yards farther. Something that's another reason to have that power ball on there, is just to give you a little bit more range. It'll allow me to, keep it off the tee slightly shorter and go into those additional, 3 yards of power or whatever it is that it lets me go into. So without that power ball on there, I would have had to drive it farther than I just did. But here you can see I wasn't able to get that albatross. Hopefully you guys can, especially on those small winds. You can see in terms of the rings that I was going, it was relatively spot on, 3.5. I was at max club there, so that's something to keep in mind. But I'm still going a little bit less. So I probably went a half a ring less than what would usually be required. It's because the shot's uphill. But as you can see, I was not able to successfully put that in. But you know, if you watch my other guide, I think I miss it on the right. I wanted to make sure, you know, that I was getting a little bit better run out than last time. And there you can see that I did adjust enough rings, and you know, I was on the left of the hole. So keep in mind, you know, one of the reasons that you saw me setting up just slightly to the left of the hole is because it is downwind, and you know, that's one of the reasons that you saw me miss so right yesterday on that other revision, is because I didn't factor in, you know, the downwind pushing of the ball, and you know, that contributed to pushing the ball, you know, a little bit farther on those ball guide bounces, kind of changing the way that it looks on the ball guide. So something to keep in mind. You know, good luck with your guys' rounds there. Hopefully you guys can get that one drop, and see you guys for hole 4 coming up.